So welcome back to the channel. We are hiking Mount Brown today here in Glacier National Park. If you haven't seen my last video yet, I will link it on the screen right now. The last time we were in Glacier National Park, or the last hike we did 2 days ago, we did more like family friendly hikes as far as Avalanche Lake and St. Mary's Falls. Today we're doing a little bit tougher of a hike, one that I feel like kind of goes under the radar. Not a lot of people talk about it up here. We're doing Mount Brown. So to get here, you park in the Lake McDonald Lodge parking, and everybody always asks about parking in this national park because it's so limited and it's always so crowded. But with COVID and them allowing a limited amount of people in the lodge to actually stay, we are here at 8:30 in the morning and there is a ton of parking. This is just one of the lots, so there's even more like to my right and to my left, so like it doesn't really look like you have to worry about finding a parking spot here. This would be a hike that you could get to a little bit later in the day and still be good to get on the trail at a reasonable time, not have to fight a ton of people for parking. So this is where we're starting and this is where we've parked. We went here up to the Sperry Chalet yesterday, but we did a horseback ride that lasted like 9 hours and we rode this whole trail up and back. You start out on the Sperry Chalet on this still on this hike, but you're gonna come to the first fork and that's where you branch off and go up to the Mount Brown lookout, which is what we're doing today. This is such a difficult hike, they say, because of the elevation climb. So I'll try to make it where you can see it. It says 7,478 feet of elevation, and I think you climb 4,000 feet just in this last switchback portion. So that's why this is kind of rated a more difficult hike. So we are about a mile in so far, going to Mount Brown. It's pretty much an all uphill hike. We haven't really gotten to the difficult part yet. I think that is about 3 miles in to this first Sperry Chalet trail that we're on. So far, I mean, this is Friday morning. It's going on just about 9 o'clock. And we've only passed one other group out here. There's no horses going out this morning on this trail, and so far we're the only hikers. So we just hit the fork in the trail to actually start on Mount Brown trail. It's 1.6 miles in, and now has started the real climb. Just for a time reference, it took us about an hour to reach the fork where you actually enter onto Mount Brown Trail from the Sperry Chalet Trail. We're not trying to go fast. We don't have a certain time frame that we have to get this hike done in today. We have all day and this is what we're doing. So I'm covered in sweat and I'm out of breath, but that's because we've been hiking on the actual Mount Brown Trail for a little ways now, and it is just straight uphill. But if you're wondering how long it might take you to get to this portion of the hike, at a normal pace, I would say, we're not like crazy athletic hikers or anything like that, but at a normal pace, I would say it'd take you somewhere between an hour and an hour and a half to hit the fork. So far we're 2 miles in on this trail. It's pretty tough. The reviews so far on like all trails and stuff, they say as soon as you hit the actual Mount Brown trail, it is a strenuous climb. That's been pretty accurate so far. So we're kind of just pacing ourselves, taking our time since this is the only thing that we have to do today, and just making sure that we have like enough water supply and food and stuff like that to withstand us all day up and then be able to get us back down. It is so quiet up here. Ashley gets super salty on our hikes. So you don't have to listen to me suck wind anymore. We're stopped here for a break. We're about 1.5 miles from the top. So far so good. Nobody's out here. Really, really laid back as far as the crowds go. I think that's because there's only like 2 trails that you can do out of the parking lot that's down there. One of them being Sperry Chalet, and the other one is this one. And Sperry Chalet, you can definitely make it in a day's hike, but everything else up there as far as like Gunsight Pass and Sperry Glacier usually are overnight hikes. So the people that are going up here are usually up here for multiple days, unless you're doing just this hike or just going to the chalet and back down. And even those are both 10-mile hikes. So really good for the crowds, because this place is packed in mid to late August 2020. So much better. If you're filming up here, you gotta crank your F way up because of how bright it is. There's like no clouds today. The last 2 days that we've been here have been really overcast. Times of sun throughout the day, but nothing like today. Today's the first day that we've actually had like bluebird completely. I'm not sure if you can see it. We stopped at one of the corners of the switchbacks just to take a break. We're about 4.5 miles into this hike. That is where we're going, that little hut on top of that mountain. That's the fire lookout at Mount Brown.
Another bottle of that. That's all we have spray wise.
Yeah, that's all we got, spray. Coming up on the fire lookout on top of Mount Brown. The stairs you walk up to get to the top, and you have this deck that wraps 360 degrees around this little fire viewpoint station. That is Lake McDonald. You can barely see it, but that little right there, that little clearing is the Lake McDonald Lodge, where you will park your car. That's where we started this hike. We made it all the way up. So we will be going on Lake McDonald tomorrow for paddleboarding. We've got paddleboards reserved with Glacier Outfitters in the village. So I'll put all of their information in the description box if you want to check it out, and let you know in the next video, which will be, we will film on Sunday, of us hiking Highline Trail. Let you know how that turns out. This is the little path you bring in. Keep walking around here. Got all these views all around. There's Ashley dead on the deck. Yeah. Definitely worth coming up here and doing. I don't know why people give this such a rough review. It's really not that bad of a hike, and I mean, for what it gives you at the end, I mean, that seems pretty legit. Like, I feel like this definitely flies under the radar. Like, everybody always talks about Highline and Avalanche, and they just go on and on and on about those hikes. And I agree. Those hikes are definitely more family friendly. Like, if I was going to bring kids on this hike, you'd have to make sure your kids are definitely up for the challenge. But this one's still really good. And I feel like it gives you like these awesome panoramic views, just like Highline is supposed to, but with a fraction of the amount of people that are actually out here. Like, we've had maybe 3 people now, like 3 groups, and they've all been small. And I can hear more people coming up the trail behind us because it's just getting later in the day, but still nothing compared to, like, if you go to Logan Pass, where Highline Trail starts at this time, and just look down Highline, there are so many, it's just a line of people headed out on that hike. So I mean, there's just a ton of people up there. People are always fighting for parking. As far as like one that you can like definitely, if you can pencil it into your trip, I would definitely check out Mount Brown. I also forgot to mention, just to give you a little gauge of how long it took us, we started at 9:30, it is now 1 o'clock. And that was moving at a very slow, moderate pace with a lot of breaks in between. So definitely don't have to push yourself a crazy amount to be able to get this one done. It's definitely going to take you longer, of course, to get up than it is down. So we're just hanging out, taking our time. It's 1 o'clock. We're probably going to try to make it back to the car by, I would say 4 o'clock would be a good goal. And then we'll be heading back into town. But I'll show you some shots on the way down, of course. Starting our walk back down at 1:30. Another tip that I can give for this hike in particular is to bring layers with you, especially if you start early. When we started out, it was really chilly, like 50 degrees out. And we got halfway through the hike, halfway up, got really hot, got into all of this sun. But then when you get to the top, you're at such a high altitude that it gets cold again and the wind picks up. So we kind of put our long sleeves back on and we're working our way back down, but the wind's still really bad. So just a heads up. This is kind of the section that I was talking about, that you'll hit first when you're coming up from the fire, or what's left after the fire in 2017. All of these trees don't have anything on them. They're like charred on the outside. Some are falling over dead. Some of them look like they're still going. They just don't have any like pine needles or anything on them. But before the fire, I would assume that this hike was really shaded, like covered all the way until you got to the very top. But because of this is what actually most of the hike looks like, is you walking through this fire damaged area. So that's what makes it so important that you like bring sunscreen and stuff, because you have no cover pretty much once you hit that first fork to get onto Mount Brown Trail. When you're back on the Sperry Chalet trail, it's still really thick covered, and it doesn't look like the fire affected that area nearly as bad. But this area and all the way up to the fire outlook post is just like this. This hike is so steep going down that you just have to like really, like the whole time you're going down, you're just like leaned back. Like you can't tell it in the video, but we're just pretty much leaned all the way back, like walking on our heels down the side of this mountain. Oh. So this will be the first sign that you come to. Sorry about the light, it's just we're coming back down and the sun's in a different spot, but this will be the first point you come to here when you're taking Mount Brown Lookout Trail. Hopefully you can see that. It says 3.7 miles or 6 kilometers to the lookout that we were just at. So now we're back on the Sperry Chalet Trail, and we have about another mile back this way to get to our car. So mile and a half to get back to our car, and then we will be good. What's our total distance?
10.85.
10.85 miles to get back to the road. So we finally made it back to the car. We're gonna go to the Airbnb now. And now we are back at our Airbnb. So we're getting ready for dinner. We're gonna get ready to head out and call it a day here in Glacier National Park. Thank you so much for checking out my channel and this video. I really hope that it helps you out when you are planning your glacier vacation. I would definitely, if you could, check out Mount Brown. We had a whole lot of fun out there today. We had a whole lot of fun making this video. I'm really happy that we actually decided to go on that hike, because we were kind of wavering on it last night reading those reviews, and I'm so happy that we actually did and we did not listen to them. So I hope that kind of gives you some insight on the hike. I hope it helps you make your decision. If you're traveling here like us, just as a couple or with friends or maybe with your family, I hope it kind of gives you insight on that hike so you can kind of see if it fits you and your group. Like I've mentioned before in this video, this is my second Glacier National Park video of our trip. We were here from Tuesday to Tuesday in late August of 2020. So my last video, I kind of went over some more family-friendly hikes. This video, of course, Mount Brown. My next video will definitely be of Highline trails. So if you like these videos, you like more travel videos, please subscribe to my channel. More travel videos to come, along with my normal content, which is helping people lose weight. Like I said, we will definitely be filming our hike to Highline Trail and the garden wall and all of that kind of stuff in 2 days, so that video is to come. Tomorrow we are going paddleboarding on Lake McDonald. Can't film there, can't take our big cameras, but you know, we'll have like GoPro shots. All of my social media accounts are linked in the description. We will take pictures of us paddleboarding, along with, we have a ton of pictures up of our trail ride that we did yesterday. So if you'd like to see that kind of content, follow me on social media. I've got my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff linked down there. If you've got any questions in reference to our trip or my normal content, which is weight loss advice, please reach out to me on any of those platforms, and I will be sure to respond to you. Also, leave a comment in the comment section down below of this video or any of my other travel videos if you think that we missed something while we were here, because we like this park a lot. We'll probably be coming back because I don't feel that we have actually been able to just do it all, and I know that there's a large portion of the park that is closed on the east side due to COVID. So I already know that we'd like to come back in the future, do more things that we weren't able to do on this trip. But yeah, I think that's going to pretty much be it. That pretty much sums it up for this video. And like I said, more to come. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you all in the next one.